Charlie was so poor that he could barely afford to eat, yet he had the audacity to apply to an aristocratic school with exorbitant tuition fees. On a daily basis, he had to rely on part-time jobs and scholarships just to maintain a basic standard of living. In contrast, his wealthy classmates, whose parents were rich, lived extravagantly. Every weekend, while others were discussing which ski resort was more expensive, Charlie was still looking for part-time work to earn money for a plane ticket home. However, this particular part-time job made Charlie a little apprehensive. He was supposed to take care of an elderly man over the weekend. The old man's niece answered the door. She needed to go on a 3-day vacation over the weekend, so she offered Charlie a high salary to help take care of her blind, retired lieutenant colonel uncle. As soon as Charlie entered the house, Frank immediately scared the living daylights out of him. During their first meeting, the foul-mouthed Frank criticized Charlie relentlessly, which was a devastating blow for a high school student. Then Charlie was kicked out the door. There couldn't have been a worse job interview. So Charlie went to Frank's niece and told her that he couldn't do the job. However, she instead consoled Charlie. The next day, Frank seemed to have already anticipated that Charlie would take the job. As soon as Charlie arrived, Frank unceremoniously asked him to pack his bags, while he himself was already dressed in formal attire. At that moment, Charlie instinctively wanted to help Frank, but he never expected to be cursed out so viciously. This was the last shred of dignity a blind man had left. Before Charlie could react, Frank had already taken him to the airport. Frank flirted wittily with the flight attendant, accurately guessing her name just by the scent of her perfume. Soon, the two arrived at their destination, New York. Frank had already booked the best hotel and restaurant in the city. At the restaurant, Charlie was stunned by the prices on the menu. He couldn't understand where this old, blind man got so much money from. Frank told him that this was the disability compensation he had been saving for a long time. This trip was all about staying in the best hotel, drinking the most expensive fine wine, then going to see his brother, spending a passionate night with a stunning woman, and finally lying on the soft, luxurious hotel. Unfortunately, I can only share this part of the story with you due to copyright restrictions. If you're interested, you can check out the original movie called Scent of a Woman.